Hello everyone and welcome to round 10 of AMRL Season 7. As you can see, we are looking at the current Constructor Championship because while the driver one is already decided with Ludwig from Etruria being the world champion, for the Constructor Championship it's all to play for between Etruria Racing Academy and Minardi Junior Team. So really they're basically tied, there's only a 2 points difference, and this means that the team between them that does best today is going to be world champion. So qualifying is about to start with Q1. Drivers are choosing the medium tires as per rules. Actually, two of them don't, but they will probably go to the pits to change it because you cannot qualify on soft tires in Q1. As you can see, we're racing in Finland at the KymiRing. A really interesting track, as you can see, with this pretty sharp turn 2 and a long straight and a hairpin in turn 3, and then this series of S's, a bit of a wider hairpin, another hairpin, and then 2 consecutive hairpins. So really a track full of hairpins, and this may mean some killing. As we can see, Ludwig with the fastest time at 35.58. The top half is going to qualify for Q2, so really what we should look at is the positions around P8, P9, P10, P11. And we can see Nikhil, this is his farewell weekend, so he's racing both in AMRL and in UMRL, and let's hope for him that he can achieve great results. And there's also a livery dedicated to him, and let's see if he can make it to Q2. Sadly he misses out, as Ludwig has the fastest time ahead of Kozil and Lukac and Pigeon. As you can see, many drivers paid tribute to him. So between the Eturias and the Minardis, only Losey misses out on Q2. He start P. So Q2 is about to start. Only Losey between the contenders misses out, and so it's going to be Ludwig versus Pigeon and Phoenix, with also some surprises like Sabercat, who came back after a long time. And let's see how it goes. Phoenix starts his first lap, everyone on soft tires, so we may see amazing lap times. And let's see how he does in the hairpin. Kind of misses the apex, but that shouldn't affect his lap time that much actually. And as you can see, he's very committed to getting a really good time. Actually seems a bit conservative, doesn't really want to risk it for his first lap. Maybe he's going to risk it all for his second one, but he still has an amazing time, third best time, but Ludwig has the best time overall, 35.63, as we see him touching a bit of grass, which might mean he's not going to improve anymore. So Ludwig in P1, Nick with an amazing time in P2, then Phoenix P3, Kozil P4, but it's not a surprise anymore at this point. Lukac P5, then Pigeon P6. And this is the contenders, as Ludwig crosses the line and doesn't improve. And so we have Ludwig on pole, then Sabercat, Nick, Phoenix, Kozil, Fabianski, Pigeon. So the race is about to start, and most drivers seem to be starting with soft tires, actually many hard runners too. Ludwig goes with mediums, and we are off with Sabercat already wheel to wheel with Ludwig and kind of ahead, and Ludwig gets pushed off with a crazy leg spike, and this is really in favor of Minardi so far, with the Sabercat taking first place. There's a big crash which involves Pigeon too. Really a first lap full of crashes, as Nick right now is leading the race, followed by Kozil, Sabercat, Phoenix, Fabianski, Niki, Losi, Ludwig. Losi, who is now ahead of Ludwig. He was starting P12 and Ludwig was starting P1. This is a crazy first lap with basically the qualifying result not mattering at all, because the order is now all changed, and who was first is now struggling behind, like Ludwig, who is already in P6 and recovering as Kozil goes off. And so let's follow our title contenders. Phoenix is in P3, Ludwig in P5, while Lozi in P6 and Pigeon a bit behind. So this is in favor of Etruria, I think, as Phoenix is now followed by the two Etrurias in P4. While ahead we have 3 crazy surprises, because Nick, Sabercat and Fabianski have been really fast in AMRL 2. While Nick leaves the game, Nick DNS from first place. This is really unlucky for him, and truly sad to see. While I was praising him for his amazing performance, and meanwhile Ludwig and Fabianski go off. Ludwig goes off twice in the same spot in 4 laps. This is truly unlucky for him, and he must be fuming in the cockpit, as we're following the fight for P13 between Mr. Bono, Matt, Lukac, Flak. Flak is also coming back to racing for this weekend, and we also have Eli, I think that's how you pronounce it. So yeah, they're kinda punching each other as Sabercat starts building a gap, also taking advantage from the fights behind him, like Fabianski and Ludwig, who have already pushed each other off, and Phoenix and Spyro, who are fighting between each other. Actually, right now there seems to be a bit of a truce between the two of them, as Phoenix makes a mistake. Spyro takes P2, but maybe Phoenix just wants to take that sweet slipstream, as Spyro has better tires, and he sees Ludwig going there for once, not going off in that point, and so there starts to be a bit of order and less crazy accidents, as we see Lozi and Georus side by side, 2 Etruria Academy drivers going at it for P6. And still Ludwig and Fabianski fighting each other, absolutely. Maybe I was thinking that maybe people would leave alone the Minardis and the Etrurias and let them fight for it, but actually they don't really care about this title fight. They absolutely kill the Minardis and the Etrurias like they were anyone else, and this is a classic AMRL race, maybe even more fuller of killing than a classic AMRL race, as Ludwig tries down the inside on Spyro, doesn't quite pull it off, then Phoenix makes a mistake, Phoenix is pushed off by Spyro, and Ludwig finds himself suddenly ahead of Phoenix, but it's not over yet, they're so close, and this is a crazy fight for P2, with the 7 cars fighting for P2. We have Fabianski and Spyro ahead, then Ludwig, Phoenix, who have everything to lose, then Jorus, Lozi and Kozil. And this is a crazy train, with Jorus trying to go down the inside, and Lozi gets killed as a result, but Phoenix gets killed again. This is like the 3rd time we've seen him go off at the inside of that corner in the space of 8 laps, which is pretty crazy. So we have Jorus and Kozil side by side, and Ludwig maybe going for it down the inside. That was such a committed move. Maybe one of the best of this race. Actually, for sure, one of the best. Takes a lot of courage, especially when risking so much with a title on the line. And So we see 55 going off, which means Lozi goes up to P6. Lozi is having an amazing race. He was starting down in P12, took hard tires, and is just recovering as we have a bit of a stream lag. We hope it's not going to bring another red flag like it did in Poland. That red flag which had such incredible consequences and took us to where we are now with this amazing fight. So yeah, we see everyone lagging. We hope it's not the same on their screen, otherwise it's going to be a problem. So Sabercat retakes the lead after his pit as Ludwig and Kozil pit, and they end up in like P8. Ludwig ends up in P8 but goes up to P6 immediately. P5, Ludwig with an amazing first lap on these hard tires, and strategies will come into play here, because now Ludwig is on hard, Phoenix is on medium, so they have a different strategy, while Lozi is going very long on those hard tires, and yeah, as I said, it is going to pit. So we have Ludwig and Spyro fighting it out. Yeah, about the strategies, this is a track where you really feel the tire wear. With all these airpins, you lose a ton of time when your tires are gone, but also the pit entry is not great, which means that you lose a lot of time pitting too. So if you can manage not to lose too much going with a longer stint, that's the best thing you can do. Like in AMRL, I went really long on the hards and it brought me a good result. So we have Sabercat just chilling in first place, followed by Pigeon, who is the only one of the front runners who still hasn't pit. He copied the Lozi strategies, but his version means that we'll go longer on the hards as Ludwig and Spyro are fighting it out. This reminds me of when they were teammates in round 1 of this season, when they were absolutely killing each other in Hockenheim. Well, now Spyro is not really too aggressive with Ludwig, maybe one of the first people who is not trying to absolutely murder Ludwig or Phoenix. We saw them killed like 5 times each in these 14 laps, as Spyro still wants to fight and goes for a move down the inside, but Ludwig wants to take him back round the outside, and with a switchback Spyro defends the inside, and this fight makes it so that Georus, Phoenix and Kozil reach this group, which gets reformed as Phoenix and Georus get ahead of Ludwig, who falls back down to P7, while Phoenix is up to P6, but they're side by side, and this symbolizes this amazing fight we're seeing today, as Phoenix with the inside, of course, keeps the position, and yeah, they're really close, so nothing is decided yet. Well, Pigeon in lap 15 it still hasn't pitted, so I think he wants to go for a one-stopper, but yeah, that's pretty crazy, as Phoenix loses a bit of positions, but it doesn't really matter. It's like in a cycling competition where groups get formed. You might even be the last one of that group, but the important is you are part of the group, because with the slipstream you can work together and then fight for those places at the last laps. Like Pigeon with those dead tires, still not pitting. He's still doing well because he has the slipstream of Fabianski and Spyro, and this means that he can go way longer if he manages to stay close to them, which is not easy at all, because as you can see in the corners, he slides so much. And now these two groups are forming once again into that crazy fight for P2 involving 7 cars. Cybercat has no idea of the hell that is happening behind him. As Spyro gets pushed where Phoenix always gets pushed, and Ludwig is now fighting with the two minorities, but as we know, Pigeon has to pit, and Pigeon gets kinda killed, but he's still in the slipstream. That's what matters for him, as Phoenix once again keeps Ludwig behind. So, as it stands, Minardi would be champions, of course, because Lozi is way behind right now after his pit. But we need to see what Pigeon does. He's kind of the deciding factor, because today Phoenix and Ludwig seem on the same level, as Fabianski pits once again. Truly an amazing race for him, but what a race for Sabercat. 9.4 seconds ahead after not racing for like one season at least. It's pretty crazy, but it makes sense with all the fights happening behind him. But honestly, you need to have the pace to build that gap, even if behind the people are just killing each other all the time. And actually, they're not killing each other that much. Like, as I was saying that, Ludwig doing a crazy dive bomb on Phoenix, and Phoenix then gets killed by, I think, Spyro. So yeah, Ludwig, crazy move. He had managed to make it kind of clean actually, with the Phoenix just barely touching the grass, but then Phoenix got killed again, and pitted. And let's see if he goes back to the group or if his race just becomes kind of like Lozi's race, where before he was in that group, but now, not again. Pigeon onto the wall. Once again, his turning didn't work as it should have. Once again, he tried to go left and this car just refused to do so. I think right now he's restarted, but his race is kind of over. And this is a great for Etruria actually, as Ludwig is now in P2, but he still has to pit while Phoenix has already pitted, so we really don't know what could happen. And Sabercat already completed his pits, going for a 2-stopper, which means that unless something crazy happens, the win is his. And we're following Lozi, who is now in P11 and fighting with Matt. And these 2 points he's bringing might be crucial for the championship right now, as Pigeon is just lost the amazing things he was doing. He's all the way down in P17. Truly something sad to see, because he was pulling an amazing stint on those hard tires. He probably just forgot he was meant to pit. Actually, and it would have been really interesting to see what he would have done with that crazy strategy, but sadly we'll never get to see it, as we see the fight between Nikhil, Phoenix and Spyro, as Phoenix goes off. In our screen it seems like he went off on his own, but that corner should be renamed Minardi's death corner, because really both the Minardis have died there, and Phoenix have died there twice in this race. So really, that corner is deciding a world championship. It's kind of like that one corner in Hockenheim, where Vettel went off in 2018. That is kind of like the weight of that corner. And we can imagine Pigeon going, "My God, must the sign," as his car goes off into the gravel. But apart from those bad memories for us Italians and Germans, let's follow how it's going with Sabercat, who has a 7.5 second gap, and is just managing it. Fabianski, the other surprise of the weekend, in P2, and Cheurus, who is not a surprise anymore, in P3, and with quite a bit of a gap. So behind him there's Ludwig on soft tires and Nikhil on medium tires and Kozil on soft tires. Nikhil really cooking out of nowhere. It was like P10 for the whole race. But now suddenly in the last laps he went up to P5, which is amazing to see in his last race. While Spyro is behind in P7 and Phoenix is in P8 after that horrid accident. He was meant to be fighting right here with Nikhil and Kozil for P5, as Ludwig uses this fight to secure his P4. So, yeah, now the situation is pretty stationary, and we see behind the Phoenix and Spyro battling each other, and now Nikhil and Kozil also fighting together. And in these last laps, while for the championship, with Ludwig in P4 and Phoenix in P7, and Pigeon not bringing any points, Etruria really seems to be getting the upper end after those two accidents, both in that same corner, that are killing Minardi's chances right now. And Ludwig is not having none of it. He wants that P3, that podium, to wrap up his AMRL career. He already knows this is his last AMRL race, and overtakes Jorus pretty easily, but Jorus still wants to fight him, and takes the slipstream. They're so close as Flak retires. You got a bit unlucky, I guess. He was one of the ones to watch for, but probably having bad luck and seeing his drivers so unlucky today, he decided it was time to call it quits. But don't worry, Flak, because you have the UMRL title to fight for tomorrow. So we see Ludwig followed by Jorus and Kozil, and we see Sabercat going through these last corners. I have no idea how he did it, out of nowhere, coming back and absolutely dominating this race. He wasn't really watched out for by the cameras, but he deserves this screen time as Sabercat wins the Finland Grand Prix. And Fabianski, amazing race, getting the P2. But Ludwig, with this P3, brings Etruria Racing Academy once again the title after one season of drought, actually. And Phoenix did all he could, Pigeon did all he could, but today fate was just against them, as Losey gets that P12, which means one more point, and this is it. Pigeon doesn't manage to finish the race, so Sabercat wins ahead of Fabianski and Ludwig. So Sabercat, of course, wins the race even after the penalties. Then we have Fabianski in P2, what an amazing race by him. And then Ludwig gets dropped from P3 to P7 after the penalties, with Kozil taking an amazing podium, and then Jorus in P4, Nikhil in P5, what an amazing result on his Ferron race, and Phoenix in P6 going just ahead of Ludwig in P7, then Spyro P8, and Matt P9, Albono P10, Smooth 55 P11, Lozy P12, just getting that 1 point, which might be crucial. And then Lukac P13, Tito P14, Pigeon Sally down in P15, then Ili, Flak and Nick all not finishing the race. And as we can see, Ludwig wins the Drivers' Championship with 181 points. What a season by him. Followed by Phoenix with 133, truly going above all expectations before the season. A P2 in AMRL is a lot. Then Tyne, even after that sad retirement, he still gets P3 ahead of Pigeon with Strudel in P5. A really great season by him, just racing 5 times and getting that P5. Then Kozil P6, he's grown up so much during this season. Georus, same as Kozil, is growing a lot, P7. And then Aloxian, really good season by him too, going above all expectations with that P8 with 67 points. Then Compressor P9, Spyro P10, and Lozi with P11 ahead of Nikil in P12. As for the constructors, as you can see, those pole points by Ludwig proved crucial together with that 1 point Lozi brought on the last race. And the Etruria Racing Academy wins AMRL Season 7 with 231 points, Minardi with 229, which means that we said before that the one which does better between the two of them is going to win the championship, but actually they did exactly the same points, which means Etruria keeps that 2-point advantage and wins the title. Then S25M 192 points, fell off a cliff sadly after the time retirement, but still a pretty good season. Then Aston Grand Prix at 148, HRT 134, APA 130, truly a well-balanced season. Just 101 points between P1 and P6 is pretty crazy. Then Maserati at 82 points and Zipex Academy at 47. Now, even though those last two teams have finished last, they're going to get to UMRL next season. So stay tuned for more races of this fantastic league of AMRL. Brasidas out, and see you soon.